we got it all ready, ready to go back up in the truck. It's 6:30 at this point, and we decided we were going to take a nap, get up at 7:30, and try to get this in the truck. Well, we slept in a little bit, so we was up against it. I think we woke up at 8, and DYNO started at 9. I can't remember our position. So we're rushing around trying to get back up in the truck, woke up the other crew members. Everyone pitched in. We got it in the truck, took off towards the dyno with some fluid and some tools to adjust the shift cable. Got it up there, and again, luck of the draw for us, not Robert. The dyno had messed up, broke apart, not sure. So we sat in line for a little while, got the truck where it needed to be, had a driver's meeting, decided that we was gonna get the street drive out of the way. So for the street drive, you had a 9,000 pound limit, and whatever you weighed at for the street drive was the limit you was allowed to sled pull with. James had the experience sled pulling that he does, wanted all the weight that we could. So I'm very protective over this thing. He's throwing as much weight. I mean, we got chains, we got binders.
You had to have your spare torque converters with you on the street drive, and every spare part we had was with us. And we had a bed full. And I'm wanting...
He's wanting to hang the front...
I said just hang the weight box on it.
I'm glad we didn't, because we came across a G out. We went across scales at, I want to say, 8,800 pounds, 8,750, something like that. Heaviest one other than the Robbie Garcia's truck from Texas. That was a huge jacked up 38s ranch hand. I think he was at the 9,000 pound limit without any additives. And we took off street drive. For some reason, neither one of us thought about bump stops. I have a very high dollar set of Menser shocks on the back of this thing.
Big baller.
And we're going through, this is Amish country we're going through. I mean, we were literally watching...
I did mention bump stops, and you said, I don't want to be bouncing off the bump stops the whole ride.
Well, we had bump stops, but it was framed to axle. We hit a G out, probably 50 miles an hour. I seen it too late, didn't get on the brakes. It hit, and as soon as it hit, I knew something was wrong. James is hanging, because we can't stop, can't get out of the truck. Only time you can stop is stoplights. So James was hanging out of the window trying to see what's going on. I'm looking at my rear end in the mirrors, and we got an inch and a half of wheel gap
to the fender.
We still have 50 miles of the street drive, and if you don't make the street drive, you can count yourself out of the competition. It's worth 1,000 points. I'm sweating bullets. I've got the AC on. It's only 45 degrees out. I mean, it's nerve-wracking.
Amish country is beautiful. Beautiful.
It is, and we came through the town, and it was an uphill. I think this actually took out Josh McCormick.
Josh McCormick spraying fuel this wide.
And it was in an uphill. I mean, we're up on the converter, we're off the converter, up on the converter, off the converter. The trans temp's starting to go up a little bit, not bad. And
it's 75 degrees out in Ohio, and every wife has their husband at Amish country, and the parking lots were packed, the sidewalks were packed, and these nasty, smoking, fuel leaking, antifreeze leaking diesel trucks are going through this town. And you know, there was one guy that really appreciated it. He got dragged there to Amish country and said, why am I here? But then he's looking out there and seeing all these nasty trucks going through town. He's like, heck yeah, brother.
So we get the street drive done, thankfully, and you know, it sucks for, I can't remember his name right now, but as soon as, I mean, this guy's leaving gallons of fuel going down the road, and we pull in and we're a mile from
Travis Stebbins.
Travis Stebbins, 4th gen, really nice guy. He offered any help he could when we was down. And
trucks for sale if you want to buy a nice one.
And yeah, and he lost the fuel line. I mean, a half a mile. The truck shut off from the gate entrance, so that was terrible luck on his part. But we got back in, lined up for the dyno. We checked tire pressure, took the weight out of the bed, got the nitrous tuned in.
Checked out our screwed up shock mounts.
Checked them out. Thankfully, they actually didn't hurt the shock. It was just the shock mounts, because I had crew members ready to go to Summit with a shock to get one replaced for the weekend. Thankfully, that wasn't the case.
Big baller.
But, so we're lining up. Never been on the dyno either, like I said. Zero experience with this event. We call our buddy Zach Hamilton up. He's giving us some tips and what to do and where to pull it in at, where to add the nitrous. We watch a few runs. I talk to the dyno operator, and we get up on the dyno, strap it in, and we go for our first number that the truck's made with this build, and it was 16. It was like 1680 something.
prior to strapping down, we were really in tight competition with Logan Epling, and we knew that. And he had pulled right before us and did like 17:30. And we had agreed that if we finished anywhere in the 16s, first pass, we're pulling it off the dyno. Well, we smack a 1687 number, and I said, "Give me the jets! Give me the big ones!"
Saying they gave me a hard time about wiping it down, washing it all the time. So I was like, all right, let's just change the jet. We had 15 minutes on the dyno to do what we want. We made this number.
I smacked the door off the rail. He got pissed.
James asked me, he said, "You want to go bigger?" I didn't want to, but that little voice in my head said, "Yeah, go for it." So we changed the primary jet, the big jet, and James threw open the door and smacked it right off the handrail. And you hear everyone in the crowd just kind of get quiet for a second. I called him a few choice words, and we changed the jet, went up for the next hit, and
it didn't hurt it.
It's
just an old truck.
Yeah.
Justin, I haven't heard that one in a little bit.
Should we show the dent?
Actually,
it didn't hurt it.
Somehow, I think there's a small
I
dent.
was say, I think there's a dent.
Yeah, there's a very small one.
Go polish that out, please.
But nonetheless, we made another number. It didn't pick up. We had a injector solenoid go bad, and it came off the dyno on 3 cylinders.
Oh, he thought
I thought
James
it
done
was
put
bad.
too much nitrous to it and blew it up.
I thought he got gas happy, and I was gonna be out for the rest of the competition.
We had spare pistons and sleeves with us.
So we get back to the truck. Back to the pits. He starts running diagnostics on it and finds out it is just an injector solenoid. So the hunt began for an injector solenoid.
James was tired. He goes to the hotel and says, "I expect you guys to have me a solenoid on there in the morning."
Well, I hunted around. I'm cold. I'm tired myself. Like I said, we got an hour of sleep the night before. I couldn't find one readily available. He did offer me his, but it was in his head still, and I didn't want to, down a good injector. I kind of just wanted a core injector. So we passed that offer up. Next morning,